and welcome to Atwa Podcast, and I am so happy you all are here to join us today. My name is Benicia, and I will be the host for this podcast. Today, our topic will be about mental health awareness. But before we get into that topic, first, a word from our sponsor. This podcast is sponsored by the Pepperdine Counseling Center. The Counseling Center seeks to promote mental health by providing counseling, consultation, and training and outreach to the community. We provide free confidential services to all, so call 310-506-4210 to set up an appointment today, or email student.counseling.center@pepperdine.edu. Now, that was a word from our sponsor. Today at Atwa Podcast, we will be discussing the importance of seeking help when needed. According to the National Alliance on Mental Health Illness, 1 in 5 adults are impacted by a mental condition, and that is approximately 43.8 million in the U.S. I would like to share a personal story as to the importance of going to counseling and not simply avoiding the root of the problem. Ever since I was little, I always knew that I was at a constant state of stress. However, I simply thought that was normal. My mother and siblings were always stressed and anxious of even the littlest problems. I didn't recognize that this was a problem until I began going to college. My roommate was someone who was never anxious or stressed about anything, and I thought that it was extremely abnormal for her to not be so anxious. Whether a problem occurred, she simply took everything in stride. Her anxiety never made her freeze or try to avoid the problem through procrastination. No, she took things one at a time and had a mentality that everything was going to turn out okay in the end. That was the moment I knew that there was something wrong with me. This past year I went to Heidelberg, and that was when I knew my anxiety problem had increased to an unhealthy level. The first weekend, everyone was creating plans for travel, but I had no one to travel with. I got extremely anxious of being left out, and that crippled me. I was simply paralyzed, and I remember that I could absolutely not function. I knew that staying back for that weekend would not be the worst decision in the world, but my anxiety had made it seem that I had to travel that weekend. Otherwise, I would have the most miserable year abroad. My anxiety had begun manipulating my mind to make it seem that if I didn't accomplish this, my life was over. As the year went by, my anxiety became more and more crippling to the extent that I could not enjoy my year abroad because I was at a constant state of anxiety about traveling. This year, I decided to go to the Pepperdine Counseling Center, and I spoke to the therapist and told her about my experience abroad and requested to see the psychiatrist. From there, Dr. Sager has been working with getting the right medication for my anxiety, and I know now that I am on the right track to recovery. I now know what it is like to not constantly be worried or anxious or stressed. I know what it is like to enjoy college. That is my message to everyone. Tune in tomorrow to hear the importance of healthy eating. Our program is sponsored by the Pepperdine Counseling Center, produced, edited, and hosted by Benicia Lee. Until tomorrow, we hope that you have a wonderful day.